Welcome to a seat at the table where there is real talk on real situations from real people. This is your girl, Jaquel Jones, and I'm also your host. Let's get into it, y'all.
Welcome back to a seat at the table. This is your girl Jaquel. I'm your host and the creator. And with me, I have my beautiful co-hosts. We are the four-eyed queens. We got Tisha Branch Morgan back at the table and Calandra Coleman back at the table. Y'all say hey to the people.
Hello,
Hey,
everyone.
so just a quick recap. Last week, I was dolo at the table because the men folk just did not show up. And like I said, then I said again, I ain't mad at them. The men folk are not going to tell on each other. It just is what it is. But we talked about do all men cheat. And then this week we're going to recap a little bit of that and then focus on the females and why do we cheat? What causes us to cheat? Is there a double standard? What it looks like, sounds like, all that good stuff. And we're gonna get right into it. Okay. So before we came on, we were discussing a little bit about last week's post, and we had did some things in our Facebook group about Derrick Jackson and the whole situation, the situationship. And we had a whole lot of comments, and I was actually pleased to see some of the things that I was reading in regards to not only just women, but what men thought about, just the whole situation with John Gray and what happened in his marriage, and then how Derrick came with the knowledge as if he was checking or at least trying to say what was wrong in that situation with John Gray when the whole time he was a fraud, my nigga. Anyway, moving on. But I did want to get the ladies, just a chance to talk. What did y'all think about it?
You know how they have their saying the pot calling the kettle black. Don't throw glass out of stones out of a glass house. I think I thought of all of that. Like you speaking on all of this, and you know exactly what you're doing.
Correct.
So it's almost like you just need to fall back when you see something going, whatever the case may be. You just need to fall back and don't even speak on it, because now you looking crazy out here in these streets.
And he did look crazy out here in the streets. And not only did he look crazy, but the same way John Gray had his wife out here looking crazy, you had your wife looking crazier.
Right. And one thing that I think about is, and I think as we get older, we have to think about, we all have opinions. Right. And we're gonna all have opinions. But I think it's safe to say that most of the time we should just keep them to ourselves. Because once you go public with your opinion, whatever you think is gonna come back to you, because you never know when that is going to be you. I've learned the hard way, like you just said, throwing stones. It can come right back around. It can ricochet and hit your house.
Oh, yeah.
So the same way, and we as adults are guilty of this. We do it all the time. We criticize everything we see. And my husband used to have this thing where he saw it on Facebook somewhere where you say, "Worry about yourself." And I say that all the time. Worry about yourself. Because if you worry about you, you can't be worried about nobody else. And when we're worried about other people and we're talking about them and we're speaking on their marriage or their relationship, the same thing we're talking about is happening behind our back.
Yeah, boy.
So if we are worried about somebody else, we can't be worried about ourselves.
Mm-hmm. That part. I tell you, I'm a Virgo, and I'm a true Virgo.
Me too.
We got the same birthday, so we all the way live with it. When I was younger, in my 20s, honey, I was that one. What I'm not gonna do is let a man do this. I'm not sticking around while he doing that. When they say keep on living, when the wisdom folks say just keep on living,
honey,
I got married and I put up with a whole lot of stuff that I used to preach and preach and preach that I would never. How you gonna sit there and let him do X, Y, and Z? Because you have to go through it to be able to say what you'll do or what you won't do. Now when I'm dealing with anybody in marriage, you have to deal with your marriage in the way that you have to deal with your marriage.
Yep.
And your relationship is your relationship. Now, I'm gonna be honest. I'll tell innocence, don't you dare deal with some of the things that I dealt with. Don't do that to yourself. You deserve better than that. And that was the whole thing. It's not so much of trying to bash men or trying to say or try to put them in a category. I had one of our followers said that, like, putting you in a category. It wasn't even about that. It was more so of like bringing some real insight on what causes you to cheat, so that the women will know, well, dang, am I doing that? Like, sometimes we're not cognizant of what we are not every day in a relationship.
Right.
Correct.
It was so much more than just the tagline, do they cheat? We want to know the why that happened.
Yeah, man. So,
but I think some of them don't even know.
That's true. That's true.
You may have a point there, Tisha. They may get to the table and say, I don't even know. But I really wanted them to at least come to the table and say that. Like, right. I was looking so forward to.
They came to the table. They just didn't come to this table. Because I talked to so many of them and they were so candid with me. And I was like, like one time I was like, man, like I had to give them some doubt and everything because it was all the way true. Like, you want me to
know why? But you know why, Jaquel? They'll be all the way live with you. But once you put it on this platform and other men see it, it's the same thing with the Derek Jackson thing. He put all this stuff out there. And then as soon as he made a mistake or did what he did, then everybody's on him. So as soon as that person that came to you put it out there on here, and then somebody found out they did something different, then they coming at them. So they're not ready for that. And I tell people all the time, men are not built like we are. We take a lot of stuff. You come at us and you can say, well, you said this and you took this. You said this and you took that. But once you come at them with that, they can't take it.
Man.
Let's get into it. The things that we do to them. How about it? So tonight's episode, we are refocusing and we're going to talk about women and infidelity. And oh my gosh, we're going to highlight this topic. I actually saw this clip on Facebook, and what's crazy is I Have All Black is it's an actual app for Black television, and they have a reality show called Notorious Queens. And I saw a clip on that from Facebook, and I shared it, and I was kind of like, a little like, I couldn't get it. It was about respectfully cheating. We're going to get into it. But let's start at step one, the dating game. Like the dating game. What are some of the things women look for when they're dating that lets her know that this will go beyond dating? What does a man have to do while courting you for you to say, this might be my man?
I can say that what a man had to do when I was younger is a lot different than what a man had to do when I was older. Because when I was younger and dating, for me, all you had to do was have a job and a car.
That part. Come
on. I didn't have to come and get you, and I didn't have to spend money on you. But when I got older, you see, you need more than that. You need stability. Can you take care of yourself? Just because you have a job don't mean you can take care of yourself. Can you manage the money that you're getting at your job? How is your credit? I mean, so many times we as women, we are so scared to ask men questions like that. How's your credit? What was your sex life like? I mean, and women get offended all the time when men say, well, how many partners did you have? I asked my husband that before we got married.
That's all on that. Everything.
And even if you can't tell me exactly how many, how did you date? Were you just dating any and everybody? Or did you have long-term relationships? These are the things that I think that as we get older, we think about.
Yeah.
How is that going to affect me? When we're younger, we think about, how does this affect me now? Can he pay for my bag? Can he buy me dinner? Can he pick me up? You know, that's what we think about when we're younger. When we get older, we think about, is your credit going to affect me later? Is your job going to pay for our bills? You know, that kind of thing.
I agree. What about you?
Listen, Tisha hit it right on the head. Because we do get afraid of asking those questions, but those are the difficult questions that you actually have to ask people. Because if your credit is messed up, once we become one, that becomes my credit. You know what I'm saying? And yes, I definitely do remember those. Listen, he could take me to Applebee's, IHOP, or whatever. When you're in the 20s, that's okay. But right now, I want to go to Ruth Chris and things like that. I need to get these stamps on this passport. You heard me? But we do need to have those difficult conversations, especially when you see that this is becoming like, I see the characteristics, the qualities in you that's like my dad. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you start to look at, those good qualities that you have like my dad. So now I do need to know, were you with Lottie Dot and everybody?
But you know what I do think too, and one thing that I had to learn when I got older is, I made the statement a few minutes ago about like credit and partners and everything. We also don't need to discredit people, because, and I say that because I know me personally, when I got married, my credit was not good. Right. And my credit was not good because my mother got sick and I was her caregiver. I was paying $500 for pills for her and not paying bills. And I would do it again.
Yeah.
So there are situations why things happen, but this is why you talk to whoever you're dating about what's going on. Because you know, a person can say, you know what, well, we can work on that. In the beginning of a relationship, we can work on your credit. We can work on getting better jobs. Things can happen, but you have to communicate.
Right.
That's what I was going to say, Tisha, to piggyback on that. It's about communicating, not keeping things from the person that you say you want to spend the rest of your life with, or if you're getting to that point, I want to move this to another level. It's not a time to hide things, because they say in relationships and marriages, what causes them is not necessarily the cheating. It's like the finances and things of that nature. So if you're not communicating it, if you have this store card and you know that you can't pay it, you need to let this person know so that they can help you out. They're your partner for a reason. So that communication, key, good and bad.
I think that's one of the deal breakers for women is the hiding of the things. Instead of you just telling me that you had these issues, you let me find out while we sitting in the loan officer's office. You let me find out when the notice is coming to the house. No, like, let me tell you something. One thing that women are, especially Black women, we're resourceful, honey. And we can make that thing, we can turn it, shake it down, shake it together. Amen. We will work that thing out. But you got to let us know. You got to let us in. And one thing with men, they don't handle pressure as well as we do.
No.
So instead of you going down on the things, you'll rather go drink or go smoke or go hang out because you so boggled down with what you have pressing against you, instead of just coming to the table with that, babe, this is what we got going on. Let's make a plan. I think that's one of the things with in any relationship, really. You should have a plan for something, whether it's how y'all moving in together, how, you know, what the wedding's going to look like, how your finances will be after the wedding, you know, what your 5-year, 10-year plan, whatever it is, kids, whatever, all of that should be a plan. Don't let just things happen on the whim. So if I'm dating you, yes, I want to make sure that you can take care of me in a sense. And what I mean when I say in a sense is I don't need you to take care of me, but as my man, you should want to do that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You should not want me to want for things. I shouldn't be in no groceries while you eating at the Applebee's or the Red Light, wherever. You know what I'm saying? Certain things that I shouldn't have to say if I'm your woman.
Right.
Correct.
My car,
just saying. Look, just saying.
Gasless and dirty. It ain't nothing. It ain't nothing for you. And I'm gonna take the car to get clean, put a little gas. I know. Thank you.
Like, and you know what? It's funny you said gas. It's funny you say gas because nothing burns me up than to see a woman pumping gas and her husband's in the car or a man is in the car.
Listen,
All men ain't raised that way. They don't have that. They don't know about and I want to say chivalry because I look for that when I'm dating. I look for that in my husband. Now I want you to have chivalry. Like you have to. I want you to pull out my chair. I want you to tell me I'm beautiful. I want to feel like I am your everything because I'm gonna treat you that way.
Way.
So if I'm missing the chivalry, like
we ain't going any further. Well, actually, I used to say chivalry was dead. I did.
Yeah, it's the saying, chivalry's dead. But that goes back to how what are their upbringing? What did the men around them teach them? Was their dad there? You know, what the uncles do was showing you how to run women or how to treat women. Like it's totally different things. And I found that a lot of, just because it's where I'm from, a lot of hood guys, and these are the guys that I have grown up with because I'm from the hood. They weren't taught to treat women with respect. They weren't taught to be faithful to one woman. They weren't taught that. So it's hard for a woman. It's hard for us to come up and say, "Bruh, no, that's not what we're doing." That's a culture shock to come up. Some of them are willing to take that in and adjust, and some of them are just not. They will not call you their woman. They don't want to get married. They'll make you have all of their babies, but they won't give you their last name. Like crazy to me. Crazy.
But it is, and it doesn't even have to be. It's definitely environmental, but it's also in their nature,
right?
Because if they don't see it, it doesn't automatically come. For women, we're automatically nurturers,
right?
So even sometimes when we don't see that in our mother or our grandmother, it's still in us. It may not come out the way it should, but it's still in us. It's not in them.
I can take that. And some of them, especially those, from and raised boys, some country boys, they are beautiful souls, man. Beautiful souls. But those are some of the guys that get stepped over.
Yes.
Those are some of the ones that get cheated on.
They get stepped over and on.
Mm-hmm.
And I can honestly say, I can put this out there because he knows it. My husband is definitely one of those. My husband he's been raised in a family of women. When I say all aunts, mom, I think one or two uncles. So it's all women. And when I tell you treats me amazing, but takes so much from people. Yeah. And I've seen it. I've become sometimes the guardian, and as women, that's what we do. Even though we know that they can handle themselves, we know that they're the man. But when you're in a relationship and you are committed and you are there, that's what you're not going to have.
Not going forward. And
like you were saying, Jaquel, about the whole her defending him type thing, that's sometimes we have to step back and say, okay, I'm going hard for mine, but I'm gonna let him
be a man.
We gotta step back, man. Yeah, and we gotta. It's like you said, we gotta know our role, and because we are so strong, because we've had to do it, it comes out automatically instead of saying, okay, I know who I got now. I know he got this, but he know I'm right behind him.
And that takes some.
But she wasn't behind him. She was in front of him. That's not what we're supposed to be.
That takes some work too. When you've been doing it so long, being that strong person, you have to make a conscious effort. Like, okay, I got a good one here. Let me let him know I need him. You know what I'm saying? So it takes some real willpower for us to pull back and let that man be the man.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I really feel like that might be one of the reasons why some men cheat. If in his house he doesn't feel needed, if everything, and she catering to his ego and all of that, and I'm strong, I don't need you, you can take it or leave it, then he's gonna go for what's
he's gonna leave it.
Yeah. They want a nurturer. They want someone who, strokes the ego. That don't mean you have to them. so he can shine, but you have to let him be the man. Like, let the man be the man.
And you know what? In every relationship, it has to be a balance. Because like you said, you can't be this flower where he has to do everything for you.
Hold on, ladies. Hold on. Now, go.
Go
ahead, right now.
I think it has to be a balance. You can't be but so needy, but you still have to be where they know that you need them.
Right. I agree. So tell me this. Do you feel like women give a false representation of themselves during the honeymoon phase? And this can be after marriage or even during the dating period. Do you feel like we kind of put on to get them, but we don't put on to keep them?
I feel like we all do, men and women.
I was going to say both of us.
My mother used to say when we date, we send a representative. I feel like we all do.
I agree.
We send this person that we know this person is going to see and we want to see again. But what we do to get them, we got to do to keep them.
Keep them. That's all I'm saying.
And that goes both ways because they send representatives too.
Definitely.
But like they my grandma say, and I think the seasoned people, they say, don't start what you won't finish.
Yes.
Don't start something that you're not gonna finish. Don't start making that plate, and then once you get them, you ain't making that plate anymore.
Yes.
Don't start it if you ain't gonna finish it. Huh?
And what I said, he's gonna be looking for you to do that. And what you don't,
yes.
you don't want to be able to cook out and another woman pick up the plate to make your man a plate while you scoffing down your hot dog.
I wish you would. I wish you would.
Come on now. Come on. Right. So why do women cheat? What are some of the main reasons you feel women cheat when they're in relationships or marriages? What are some of the main reasons? Number one, because the man cheated. I mean, that's just what it is.
They get back.
I think most women have revengeful cheating. You cheated on me, I'm gonna cheat on you. It ain't right. Two wrongs don't make it right. And I really feel like it just makes it worse or harder to get past if you are really in love with that person. But, for the most part, that has a lot to do with it.
It does. And when you say that, we would have forgiven them. But if we do that, it's hard for them to forgive us. Even though
sis, you're not going to get forgiven. You need to just find you another man.
That ego ain't going to let that happen. That ego is not going to let that happen.
Horrible.
You are so right. Even though I did it once and you did it 35 times.
And the insecurity, oh my gosh. I'm like, you're insecure with me because you cheated?
Right.
I'm confused. Like, I'm very confused. And so it's like, it doesn't even matter. Like, God forbid we do cheat, but it's like, yo, we are the biggest whore. We are the nastiest woman. You got the nasty woman's disease.
Correct.
Like, played if we cheat on you. I don't need that.
But you forgot to look in that mirror to know that this is this is an effect from what you caused. I think another reason would be that you stopped showing me the attention that you used to. I beg for the attention. I keep on begging for the attention. This young man here, he started listening, and he started paying me attention. So now, this is what happened.
I hit that one on there.
But and I think men classify cheating a lot different than we do, because they classify cheating if you talk to another man.
Correct.
If you show a man attention. Now I'm different than most women because I don't like any of that on either parts.
Right.
But most women that I know, if you stepped out with a woman, if you've shown her attention, if you've taken her out. And I think on both parts, men and women, one reason is, like you were saying, CC, is I'm not getting something, whether it's the attention, whether it's the time, whatever it is, I'm not getting it and I need it. And either you're not hearing me that I've said I needed it, or you just don't care.
Right.
And how long is that person going to sit in that relationship and go, this is something I need. I'm not getting it here.
Yeah.
And other people, I can tell you this, other people see that. I don't know what it is, whether it's like radar,
spidey sense or
but
something.
it's like, oh, she not getting this.
She's
Let
unfulfilled.
me compliment her. Right.
They told her she's beautiful today. Blink, blink, blink. It's like the men
Right.
some type of radar. It's like,
but you know what? A lot of that radar is us.
yeah.
When we go to the jobs, when we go in the store and we looking like this, and somebody says
smiling,
and we do this, honey, that is their radar. Oh, I made her smile.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't seen her smile at work all week. Something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
All I got to do is come in every day and make her smile. Oh, and then come to work and bring a flower. And you just over and over talking about how good that made you feel, how this, how that. We give some people the ammunition they need to keep doing what they're doing.
That's true. I talked about 80-20 with the men, and clearly women, we have an 80-20 too. So he may not be showing you attention today or this month or hell this year, but are your bills paid? Is he still taking care of your house? Does he come home every night on time? Is he at the dinner table with you? So you have to understand that people go through things, and men, I'm telling you, they carry.
Don't talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? They carry the weight of the world.
Yep.
And they do not talk about it. They're not as open to tell you when they're in pain or if they're hurting. But that's your job as his woman to see through this and get to his heart
and figure it out. Because if that's who you chose that you want to be with, you can't just start smiling at Nate.
And I'm gonna tell you, Nate been watching you.
Yes.
You understand? Nate know you married.
Yep.
Know your husband. Nate been wanting you because he want everything that you and your husband look like, stand for, and what you do, what comes off of you, what radiates from your relationship. He wants that. And so Nate don't really care what happens to you and your husband. He just wants a piece of it. And once he got his piece, most time Nate is out the door.
Going on about his father's business.
You understand? So you have women, we have to be careful about that 80-20 too. I'm gonna tell you, because if your husband like mine, you be careful, okay? You better be careful, okay? Hey, ladies, so tell me this: is there a double standard? I think we clearly have already crossed this, but I'm gonna just put it out there: is there a double standard to women versus men when they cheat?
Absolutely.
And
we done talked about that already.
Yep.
You can't do it. We can't do it.
Yeah, we may have a double standard, but do you feel like women are more likely to get away with cheating than men? And
yeah. And you know what? I didn't even think of that until it was funny. My husband and I have a conversation, and he said, it's easier for y'all to cheat. What? And I said, how? He said, because y'all don't show it.
Ooh.
And he said, y'all can have a conversation with someone in front of us and it be general. Y'all can not show emotion, and we are oblivious, but we will get sweaty around a girl that we ain't even been with. He basically said when men are around another woman, they get nervous.
Yeah.
And it shows. You know how, haven't you seen those clips on TV or Facebook where you walking with your man and a woman walk by and the guy like that? You know, we can walk by a guy, and this is what he was saying. We can walk by a guy, been dating him, and not even break our stride. So for women, sometimes that's why men feel like it's easier for us, because we're calm, cool, collected. Well, the ones I've known, because I've never cheated, but the ones I've known that have been in that situation, I've seen them in those situations, and they have been. You would never even know that they know each other, but men can make it so obvious, and you're like, you know her?
And then there's the caliber of women they choose to cheat with. Like, I'm not, now trust me, I'm not here for anybody being a side boo or a side piece. I'm not here for it.
Right.
I believe in fidelity. I believe in monogamistic relationships. But if you're gonna cheat, like, you cannot cheat with Hoodie Hood and expect her not to be running her mouth, expect her not to be disrespectful, except, like, you can't expect for her not to cross the boundaries that you clearly were not clear about when you
That you did not set.
Not only that, if you cheated, I feel like this, and I've grown to love myself more. If you cheating on me, upgrade.
That part.
Do better.
Okay.
Because when you
have
come,
a bag, she should be rolling like she should.
I should be looking at her. I should be looking at her.
And now I'll be like, okay, upgrade.
Yeah, I feel like if you're gonna step out, make me take a double look at her.
All I'm saying is she should be perfect.
Right.
Be perfect. Like,
I should definitely, whoever comes after me, it should definitely be an upgrade. And most of these people are not upgrading.
That part.
Like you said, when you pick these women who, like you said, when they pick these women who you already know when you talk to them, if you don't give them what they want, they're gonna put your business out there. They're gonna call me. They're gonna call the wife.
They're gonna
be in that DM, that inbox, or whatever
Right.
to tell you what it is.
I've been through multiple situations with, like, outside even my marriage. I've been through multiple situations. Why are you calling me? Clearly, if you're sleeping with my man and he's yours, why are you calling to check in with me?
Right.
Because he shouldn't be.
Why do you feel the need to tell me? But you know why they do that? You know why they do that? They do that for the attention. They do that for the reaction from both of us. From him, because they want him to show his reaction, and they want us to show our reaction. And a lot of them feel like once they come to us, it's going to be a public breakup.
Right.
And then they can ease
on in.
What they want.
They belong. My thing is,
but do you think
you can have
he's going to leave when you did that, though? Like, you blow the whistle and he had this expectations. Do you think he's going to leave me to come to you? Now, he might leave me, but he might go to somebody else. So you're losing regardless. Like, so what was your point?
If you cheat on your wife with me, I'm not the prize. I'm the catalyst. But I'm not the prize. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's nothing about me that's going to be valued if I cheat with you while you are with someone else. Like, he's not coming to me because, oh my God, I understand him. No, I'm opening my legs to him. And that's why he's coming to me. That's it.
That part.
You're not the prize if you're the one he's using to cheat. You're just not.
That's on the side.
Any woman, any man, you're not the prize.
And just know, if it's done with you, it'll be done to you.
Okay.
That part. Okay, so now that we're talking about it, let's get right into this here. Respectful cheating respectfully. So
it ain't no such thing.
I get you. I'm with you. In this clip, we have 4 women. We have Megan James, who is 26 years old. If I'm not mistaken, she's been seen on Love and Hip Hop prior to this. You have Brittany, who is a recording artist, who's also been on Love and Hip Hop. I want to say LA, if I'm not mistaken. And you have Suge Knight's former fiance and the mother of his kids. And then you have Tony Welch, who is a well-known, I think she was called the queen of the some Black Money Mafia or something like that. But she went to jail for 5 years for drugs and money. Anywho, all of that good stuff. These 4 women were sitting having a conversation, and I gave a little bit of that background so you can know who we're talking about having this conversation. Megan James, and I'm sorry to come at Queen like this, but she looked like a thought. She talked like a thought. I'm just saying that's how she presented herself. I ain't trying to say she don't got a bag. I ain't trying to say she's not a queen, but I'm gonna say what she looked like when she was in this clip. She said that cheating wasn't a deal breaker for her. She said that basically a man can only do three things that will make her leave: have a baby on her, give her an STD, or he turned out to be gay.
Yes, those 3. Mm-hmm. Those are the only 3 that are deal breakers.
And then Suge Knight, a former fiance, says it's levels to cheating. You can go get oral sex. That's nothing. She said that's nothing. She said, don't make her feel special. Don't buy her nothing. Wow, sis. Those were your expectations. I just couldn't. It was laughable for me. What do you expect a man to value about you if your standards are that low?
That part. And that's what I was saying. You don't respect yourself. That's what I was saying to the. Where's the respect for yourself? Like, come on. I hope you don't have any daughters. If this is what you want to teach them.
The Brittany was the only one, I think. I don't know who's the youngest between her and Megan, but she was the only one who stood in her in dignity and was like, you shouldn't put that in there like that. Like, she was the only one of these who said something in opposition to that. And all I'm saying is, if you have a young sister or daughter, hell, you have like young ladies watching this show. 4 black women. So you're gonna have the black young women watching you. And you're putting it out there as if cheating is it's okay. As long as he don't bring you nothing. As long as he still makes you feel special, he can go sleep with whomever he likes.
Let me play devil's advocate for a second. Because I saw that clip. And they discussed it this morning on the radio with Charlamagne.
Really?
Yes.
I wish I would have heard that.
I was not only appalled when I saw it, but when I say let me play devil's advocate, we can sit here and say, why would they do that? They're, not respecting themselves. They're not doing this. They're showing their daughters this. But we do the same thing when we stay.
Absolutely. You are absolutely right.
The only thing they did differently is that they said it. We do it.
Now,
and the bad part about it is because I've done it. I've said, I've been in a relationship. I was in a relationship. The very first guy I dated, I was in a relationship with him for 8 years straight. Every day I would say, if he did this, I'd leave. If he did this, I'd leave. Luckily, we ain't had no kids. But everything I said I would leave for, he did. But I stayed. If I had a daughter at that time, I don't care how much I said I would leave, she's watching me stay.
Correct.
And when she would see, because this is what happened, the girls would come to the house and, he would portray them as friends. Kids know that. They ain't stupid. So they would see that. The only thing these girls were doing was putting it out there.
I gotta disagree. And this is why. If I am in a relationship with a man where the expectation is we are faithful to one another, then when you cheat on me, you have dishonored my trust.
Yes.
Versus when I go into a relationship with you, my standard is don't bring me an STD, don't get a woman pregnant, and don't turn out to be gay. Outside of that, everything is workoutable, is what she said.
Correct.
That's
Correct.
a different standard and expectation. When I come into a union with you, I am expecting you to honor what you said before Christ in our family. I'm expecting you to honor those things.
Yes.
And so if I bring it to you and say, bro, go ahead, I ain't even worry about that. Keep bringing the bag, because that's what she said. If the bag is right, especially if the bag is right, so he can buy your coochie with the money. That's what you're telling me. That's what you're telling me. He can buy your loyalty with the money. He can buy everything about you. Because she ain't a wife, I'm telling you. So he don't even got to give you his name, but he can buy you with the bag. No.
And so you can't even ask for their respect because you're not respecting yourself.
Right.
That part, and they not gonna respect you because you're not respecting yourself.
Because I'm never gonna go into a relationship with that being my standard. No, I'm expecting you to be loyal to me. I'm expecting you to be the man that you portray out there in the streets. You need to be that in our home. If you are loyal, you all the way down, you 10 toes down, you a stat. You need to be that with your woman.
And they not.
If you expect me to be that.
But that's why I said, and that's what we were saying about the difference in the beginning. They expect that from us.
Correct.
But when we expect it from them, we're asking for a whole lot more.
Now I'm gonna play into what you said though, sis, because I'm gonna give some validity to it because I have been a wife who stayed. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot goes into play when you start to weigh the balance of do I leave, do I stay?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And if you real with yours, your initial response is I'm out of here. Like you're not gonna do this to me. That's that for real. If you're a real one, that's your initial response. And then you start to weigh in. You start to weigh in, dismantling the household, finances, and all of that good stuff. And then what does that look like with you starting over? You do weigh all those things in. But I'll be honest with you. It depends for me, and I'm gonna be honest, and I hope that this is relatable to some women. The circumstances around you cheating matter to me, and this is why. I cannot expect perfection out of you if I know you're broken. And it really takes a really secure woman in herself who can really identify with yourself and your own authenticity to say, you married a broken man. I married a broken man.
We all do.
You know. And when you can say that to yourself, you can't expect for him to be perfect.
Yeah.
You can't expect for him not to make mistakes. You cannot expect for him to falter when he's under pressure because he's not built that way just yet. But it's not going to happen. And so this is my thing. You cheat on me and I forgive you. Oh, bruh, there will not be another. You get what I'm saying? It can't be another. And then if we go through a period where, we are broken. We're two broken individuals. We're going through life. My parents are leaving here. Your parents are going through. We taking care of this. We taking care of them. And our household is broken. And a lot of things can happen in the process of a household being broken. And so through that, if we decide to give it another shot, that's me taking another chance on my friend. That's me taking another chance to see you be the man that I know you can be. That's not saying that I'm condoning your infidelity. That's not me sending a message to young girls saying, hey, you can accept when a man cheats on you. No, you weigh that, sis. You weigh that. You took a vow, yes, but once you cheat, you broke that vow.
Yeah.
So if I decide, if me and Jesus together say, we're going to get this thing another shot, you honor her, man. Just honor her. Women, you honor him.
Yeah.
Right? People don't have to give you another shot. We're not Christ. We're not God. We don't have to be in the sea of forgetfulness.
And one thing that you said, which is so true, if it happens and we forgive you, it's still work to be done.
Still.
Correct.
It ain't just no, we forgive you, you're back, things are the way they were. We all know that every situation, whether it's a friendship, our girlfriends, whoever, when trust is broken, that has to be fixed. That has to be mended. And when we all come in broken, like you were saying, because we marry them broken, they marry us broken.
True. It's true.
And when we come in broken, we not only have to fix ourselves, we got to fix the whole situation. Because it's the whole situation.
The entire.
Can't say I'm gonna fix you. Now I gotta fix myself too.
Because we can't fix them.
We cannot.
And we have to fix individuals.
Yeah, it's got
then
to
fix the partnership.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I think that's if any woman is watching this, take this away. It doesn't matter what you do. You can cook, clean, you can shuffle the cards as well as the next man and sit at the table and run a Boston. You understand me? But until he learns what his own issue is, and he does the work for himself, sis, it don't matter what you do. He's still going to make mistakes. He's still going to leave your home and go into somebody else's back door. He's still going to do all those things because he is a broken individual. If you do everything you're supposed to do, you bring home your checks, you cutting the grass, you get in the car right, and she still ain't acting right. You still find the things you ain't supposed to find. She is a broken individual.
Yep.
He's broken. And ain't nothing you can do to fix a broken woman. You can love her to the moon and back. And until she does the work for herself and on herself, it ain't nothing you can do.
That part.
Exactly.
That part.
So with that being said, let's give some tips. We are all in relationships, and we've all been in other relationships outside of our present. What does it take to build a healthy relationship, a healthy marriage?
Work.
And I would say communication.
Yeah. I definitely say, and I don't know. I don't know the religious backgrounds of everybody, but I will say that.
Lord.
Yes,
Amen.
all up and through.
I just know that for me, I've been married twice. My first husband passed away. Second husband, amazing. And I'm not going to say my first husband wasn't, but he was totally different. Mm-hmm. He was a pastor for one thing. So he was more of, I'm in charge. Mm. You're the first lady. You do as you're told. You're the visual. You're the visual for me. So how I'm perceived, you have to show. So for me, it was new. I could do it, but it wasn't me.
Yeah.
I was used to being in charge. I was used to taking charge, and I had to
woman.
Right. I had to literally step back. And because he was a pastor, in my mind, being a Christian woman, in my mind, I was like, am I supposed to step back? So I did for a while until he got sick. And then I was like, you know what? This ain't the way God said things supposed to happen.
Right.
I'm supposed to be me. Mm-hmm. I'm not supposed to diminish me because of who he is.
Right.
Yep.
So I had to, in my second marriage, I did things totally different. When we started dating, like you were saying about the dating part, when we went into dating, I told him what I needed. One, because I was trying to push him away. Because I feel like when you give people obstacles,
right,
ready, or they ain't the one,
yeah, I'm for the heel.
Leave. He was persistent because I gave him what I needed. I didn't give him what I wanted. I gave him what I needed, and I was not deviating from that. Mm-hmm. And he basically said, okay, you got it. And I was like, he's not going to do that. And I am a Virgo, so it's my way or the highway. I'm a shutdown queen. When things don't go my way, I just shut down. I'm not going to be mean to you, but I'm going to shut down. And I'll never forget, I was getting to a point where I was liking him, but I was like, he's not going to deal with me. Mm-hmm. So I said to him one day, I said, I'm about to shut down. I'll contact you if we're going to keep dating. He texted me back and said, no, there is no shutdown. I'm not going to let it happen. From that day, we were never apart. We got married 6 months later.
Well, all right.
And I feel like when you give somebody the information, they can either take it or leave it.
Yeah.
But in a marriage, it takes work, it takes communication, and it takes ongoing work.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't just work your first year of marriage and be like, I got it.
Or don't think the marriage is going to be the fix.
No.
It is that part. It is not that part.
I don't care how good your partner is. Marriage is never going to be perfect. I don't care what other people see that you have. Marriage is never going to be perfect. You're always going to have ups and downs. It's how you get through that.
Right.
That's what makes it stronger.
Okay. Give us your nugget on healthy relationships.
The perfectly imperfect people together.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm not married, but like I said, I feel like in relationships, definitely communication. Like you can't just shut down because that doesn't solve anything. If you're shutting down, it's a reason. So instead of shutting down, listen, when you did whatever, it pissed me off. Like, so don't do that again. So now you can say your share about what you thought happened or whatever, and it could be a matter of a miscommunication.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That caused the breakdown or whatever. And a lot of times that is the situation. You didn't communicate. You didn't say, well, before you used to wear your little heels for me, and you don't do that anymore. I like when you wear the heels or whatever, but you need to tell me that. Don't let me get comfortable and then I think that you're okay with the fact that I have changed this way.
Mm-hmm.
Say it. I
Yeah.
like for you to wear the little lingerie or whatever. Now you wearing the big t-shirts. No, say that.
Expectations.
Yes.
You have to tell them what your
On
expectations.
the 15th of the month, you want me to put it on? Let me know.
That girl said the 15th. The first of the 15th, okay? That's what the bag hit. First of the 15th. Okay.
Listen.
But I agree. I definitely agree. Communication and like making sure that you are expressing yourselves as you grow your expectations because they may change. You might have came in strong. You might have been laying down every day, but you've been working shipyard hours for 10 years. It ain't that no more, baby. Let her know so y'all can talk that thing out because women and men, we shift that thing when it comes down to libido and all that good stuff and how we age and how you age. And so you have to make sure all of those things are communicated in your relationship. It can't be something that you're wondering about. Why? What? I sleep with you every night. I shouldn't have to wonder what's going on with you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna say, Jesus carried the weight of the world. He is the only person I know with the job description that Savior. Do not go into a relationship trying to save somebody. That's not your job. It's just not your job. And it's a job that nobody, you can go to a therapist, can't save you. You can go to the pastor, can't save you. You can go to your mama, can't save you. It ain't but one person that has that job description.
I'm out.
So you cannot go into a relationship. You can't leave the hood with this man who carrying this big bag and say, oh, he gonna rescue me from my life. Your life is still there, sis. You understand?
It's just in a different neighborhood.
That's it. So you have to work on yourself. Be whole. Bring your whole self to a whole person, and then y'all can make a union. But you can't have broken pieces and his broken pieces, and y'all gonna mesh them all together to make this beautiful portrait. It does not work that way. You're going to have cracks everywhere. All the places you tried to glue those broken pieces together, those cracks are going to show. First, it's going to show. Everybody's going to see it. And then once it starts to crumble, that's when you start to feel it.
Right.
So that was the word. Always go in with your whole self. And the only way you can do that consistently is to continuously work on yourself. Be the best you. Be the best representation of you in your relationship. I'm on your arm. I want them to see me in my fullness.
Yes.
I don't want them to see no broken woman with this handsome, fine man. No. Look at her and look at him. That's what I want them to see.
Good.
So that would be my tip. Ladies, any final words, final thoughts that you want to give to the men folk, the women folk, the old folk, the young folk? What you think? One
thing I wanna say, and I think it's going back to the beginning when you said, Jaquel, about honesty. We talked about communication, all of that, working on is fine. Honesty is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And when I started dating, And when I met my husband, I told him, I said, everybody I've ever dated, I've said the same thing. If you ever get tired of me or want to leave, just leave. Don't cheat. And I think people say that, they don't mean it, and they don't do it. I've always said it, and I've always meant it. Because I would rather you leave than me sit back, you're cheating on me. Because sometimes we don't. Some men are good at cheating, and sometimes we don't know until we get that phone call or that baby pop up.
Right.
And you still been sleeping with me, but you've been sleeping with this person. So that puts me at risk. This is right. This is why I say leave or tell me.
Yeah.
Don't just do it. Honesty is a big thing with me. And it's a big thing, not just in my marriage, but it's a big thing in my friendships, in my relationships, period.
I agree.
If we're not talking anymore, or if you just feel like we're not friends, just say it and go. Mm-hmm. Life is too short for us to sit around and not know what's going on. Assume, like Cece said, somebody don't know what's going on. You thinking one thing, they thinking another. Just be honest.
Right.
That's in any relationship, especially your marriage. Because when, like you were saying about the broken pieces, when we come into a marriage, we're both bringing baggage, regardless to how much we don't want to. Mm-hmm. We both bring baggage. And I told my husband jokingly, I said, okay, we're going to come in here, we're going to start unpacking. Because, and I say we, because I need to know what he's unpacking. He needs to know what I'm unpacking. So he will know what I've dealt with. He'll know what I'm getting rid of. And I'll know what he's dealt with. Mm-hmm. So we have to sometimes unpack together. The key is just making sure you unpack and don't just keep walking around being a bag lady or a bag man.
That part.
It's so easy. It's not easy because when you have to come into a marriage and say, okay, this in my bag, this rate, or this child that you knew nothing about, you gotta unpack that because it's going to come out. And when it comes out 10 years down the line, can your marriage handle that?
Right. Indeed.
That was a good last thought. That's it.
All right. So ladies, gentlemen, kings, queens, I hope that we have given you some quality nuggets about relationships, about infidelity, about women, men, about being your whole selves when you come into a relationship. Value yourself so that other people can value you in the way that you deserve. Love yourself in an appropriate way so people will know how to love you as well. Set your expectations and communicate them with your partner. Build honesty. Build healthy relationships so the next generation that comes after us, they won't fight these same battles.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tisha. Thank you, Calandra. Ladies, I appreciate you guys for coming back to the table. And this wraps up episode number 4 of A Seat at the Table. Good night.
Good night.